It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. We're doing something slightly different today on the channel. We're going to show you how to manually clean your beer lines. So let's get started. So here we are in the cellar. What we have is a 10-gallon drum of water. We need to fill that up with water. Whilst that's filling up with water, really had a Jeremy Beadle moment then. We can take some of the taps off, so they're top fed, gravity fed lines that go to the top of the casks, down into the bottom of the barrels there. Undo the clips. Turn off the water. And then you put these rods into the water, one at a time. But being careful not to lose these little parts here to stop the beer. So this forms a seal for the rod. So we've got two more to do. You don't have to watch me do that, I'll do that myself. Once the rods are in the water, we can go upstairs and start pulling the beer through the lines until we see clear water. One other thing is cleaning the keg lines. So what we have is a system here. There's your kegs of lager. You put them on them blue sockets on the wall, and that's a water cleaning system. So we turn it cleaning on, and then we connect these cask heads onto the cleaning heads. So as you can now see, the lager is disconnected and they're connected on the wall onto the cleaning system. So we're ready to go. Now we've connected them 4 rods into the water. We want to drag that water through. But there's beer in the lines. Most pubs these days cook their own food, they've got their own meals, they've got their own menus. What to do with the beer in the lines? You pull it through, and you can use that beer for beer batter, beer gravy, or whatever your chef desires. So you carry on pulling the pumps until the colour of the beer starts to change to fresh water, which is about now. So there's no waste. Take that to your chef, he can do some cooking with it. Same again with your lagers. You're getting in there, you're pouring until the beer is not beer anymore, it's clear water. So just to check, we've got some clear water in our lines. That's one lager. That's the other lager. And here's our four cask pulls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clear glass of water. Now we need to go back down to the cellar and add some beer line cleaner. Here's our beer line cleaner. Get the cap off. Be very careful with this. Very, very careful. There's a gap down there. Look, I can get this in. As you've seen, I put a couple of good glugs in there, the beer line cleaner. As I mentioned, be very careful with this. It's very corrosive, it's very bad for your skin, it's bad for the environment. Yeah, it's just go careful, yeah? Probably best to put some gloves on and some glasses. So now the beer cleaning fluid is in. We can see the water level is here. We've got plenty of water in our container. That's mixing now. We've got the water on to the container. We can go back upstairs now and start pulling the beer line cleaner through the lines to clean the lines. Okay, so lagers first. What I'm going to do, start pouring. At the moment, the water is very clear. Let me get my camera up nice and close to you. Right. Here we go. That's still water. And the way to tell that the beer cleaning fluid is in the line is just feel the water. Still water. Still water on your fingers. What'll happen is you'll start to feel the water become slightly syrupy on your fingers, and you might feel a slight burn on your fingers. It's not a burn, I wouldn't say it's a burn, it's just a slightly different feel to water. So I can just feel that coming through now, just in time before the beer overflows. So I'm not sure if you can see, it's just a slight stickiness on my fingers. Slight, it's almost like the water's creamy. Yep, it's definitely there in that one now as well. So I can knock that off. I'm not sure if you can see that, it's just a slight stickiness. And I leave them 2 lager kegs for 20 minutes. That's left for 20 minutes with all the beer cleaning fluid in the lines doing its job, cleaning the lines. Let's move over to the casks. So here we have the cask, and there we go, 2 jugs. I have to do this one-handed because we're holding a camera at the same time. Same again really, you're pulling that water through until we get the beer line cleaner into the lines. And then it can do its job and clean. Just going to face this way. There we go, and I'm going to pull, feel the water, and yeah, it's definitely there. You can feel that. You can feel that there on your fingers. That it feels almost syrupy, like Pepsi or something on your fingers. But as I mentioned, always wear glasses, always wear gloves, and when you're done, wash your hands. Wash your hands. Make sure it's off your hands, otherwise it might just irritate your skin. I'm lucky I don't suffer from irritable skin or anything like that, so I can just wash my hands and I have no problem with my hands afterwards. So I'm going to do this now on the 4 pumps, leave it for 20 minutes and we'll move on to the next stage. Now you know you've got the beer cleaner in the lines. What you can also do, what I do, is your nozzles at the end of the pumps, the cask ale pumps, you can pop them in a glass, and of course you can get some beer line cleaner fluid onto your nozzles and leave them for 20 minutes also, making sure that every point that your lovely beer touches is nice and clean. Right, it's been 20 minutes. What you're going to want to do now is do the whole process again. You're going to want to pull through 2 big jugs of water. We've got a 4-pint jug and I think this is a 2-litre jug. Pull it through again, leave it for another 20 minutes. What you're doing then, you're giving that beer line cleaner a second go through the lines in case there's any little particles of muck or, you know, stuff, little bits of yeast, or you're giving it a second going over to thoroughly make sure your lines are nice and clean. So I'll do that with a keg. I'll do that again with a cask. I don't think you need me to show you again, pulling it all through again, do you? 1 jug for each cask, 1 jug for each keg. Pull it through again. Still feel the beer lining fluid in a line, and then bang, we leave it for another 20 minutes. Right, we're back down in the cellar. We need to disconnect the beer line cleaner from the lines. First of all, that switch over there for the kegs, we turn it from cleaning back to beer. You then take your rods out. These are your top fed cask ale rods. And what I do, because we've got a fairly old cellar, we've got this great big 10-litre tank of water filled with beer lining fluid. You can pour it I've just poured it all over my cellar floor, and it's giving everything on the floor a good clean. Another use for your beer line cleaning fluid, I suppose. Right, mistake on my part. I switched the cleaning valve down to back to beer. Forget that, do not do that. Put it back to cleaning. I've given now, because we're still effectively in cleaning mode, I've given my tank of water a damn good rinse out, got rid of all of that beer line cleaning fluid, and I'm now filling it back up with fresh water. I'm going to put the rods back in. Your cask ale rods, let me show you one. Back in now to the fresh water. Right, let me show you. So your 4 rods, just filling up with fresh water again. Let's go back upstairs. And what we're going to need to do now is pull at least 20, 24, at least 24 pints of fresh water through each keg line and cask line. Let's go and do that. So, here's your 4-pint jug. This is the important bit. You don't want to make any mistakes here. We're pulling through clean water. You need to pull through enough clean water as to completely get rid of all of that beer line cleaning fluid. You do not want to have any of your customers drinking that stuff. It's a killer, literally. I heard a story once. A cleaner was in the pub cleaning in the morning. There was a small glass of beer line cleaning fluid. For whatever reason, I don't know why, on the bar. She'd finished hoovering, she was boiling hot, she slugged back the beer line cleaning fluid. She had to have her stomach pumped, she nearly died. So, I cannot stress enough. Pay attention. Make sure there's enough jugs of water, at least 6 4-pinters. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 pints of fresh water running through your lines before you connect them back up to the beer. Just going to show you the 2 jugs here. I'm not going to pull through 6 of each and show you all of that. I'm just going to explain it to the camera. So that's your keg done. We'll get back to the cask in a minute. Just showing you the method really of how we do it here. So again, the first jug will probably have beer line cleaning fluid in it. The next 5 jugs of fresh water then are just to make sure. It's 1 jug of each. And again, remember these. Here's our sink. Get rid of all the beer line cleaner. Get them in water. Give them a good shake over the sink. Do that also at least 6 times. So you got nice clean nozzles. So again, I'm going to carry on now. Pull in 6 jugs of clean water through my lines before I connect the beer. I'm going to crack on with that and then we'll show you how to connect the beer back up. Okay, so we have our rods in our water. We've pulled through at least 24 pints of fresh water. Now we're going to connect the rod, which I've just pulled out of the water. I'm using one hand to do this. I'm going to show you how to connect it back up into the beer. So, being very gently with this, place, I've got the rod here in my hand, move it down very slowly into the beer, let it hit the bottom, being very gentle. You don't want to disturb the beer. You might have customers waiting up there for beer by now. Tighten that down. Good tighten. Ball cock is at the top, so we're all ready to go. We go back upstairs now. We pull through the water until we get perfect real ale. Okay, so now again we connect the lager. Put it over from cleaning to beer. Connect that one. Get it off the cleaning pod on the wall. Connect that one. And then we go back upstairs and connect the beer up. Well, the beer's connected up. We go back upstairs, pull through the clean water until we get some beer. And that's how to clean the lines. Okay, so I've set you up for the perfect view to show the clear water that's going to go from not water to wine, but water to beer. Here we go, we're starting to see the difference in the colour now. So we're pouring through. Making sure the last remnants of the water's gone. Get the sparkler back on. What we now have is fabulous fresh beer. Look at that. Give that a moment to clear. We've got lovely beer. So that's a quick demonstration on how to clean your lines. Thanks for watching. Put the comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom and cheers.